Hi everyone and welcome to a new episode of Day's Podcast along with a new video. I know it's been a while, but I wanted to make sure I update you all with new content, whether it's free or exclusive. I'll be sure to definitely work on more exclusive content and just making sure I do a lot more on different things that we can talk about too. Um, but I want to say thank you so much for liking, subscribing, viewing, watching, and listening. I truly appreciate it. So today we are going to talk about another album. This is of course free content, free episodes. So thank you so much again. But today we are going to talk about um, Queen Latifah's "All Hail the Queen." So let's get into it. All Hail the Queen is the debut studio album by American rapper Queen Latifah. The album was released on November 7th, 1989 through Tommy Boy Records, the feminist anthem. Ladies First featuring Moni Love remains one of Latifah's signature songs. All Hail the Queen peaked at number 6 on the Billboard Top Hip Hop R&B Albums chart and at number 124 on the Billboard 200 chart. Wrath of My Madness was the first single from All Hail the Queen and was later sampled in Yo-Yo's You Can't Play With My Yo-Yo. Mama Gives Birth for the Soul Children peaked at number 14 in the UK. In 2023, the album was selected for preservation in the U.S. National Recording Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. So yeah, this album was pretty much recorded in the late 80s. This was, her debut. Like, this is letting people know, like, I'm Queen Latifah. You ain't, okay? And so, at that time, there was only a few female rappers. There was only very few. And so, over time, in the 90s, it began to grow. But in this time right now, there was only a few that was really out. And, you know, Queen Latifah, as we have been able to know over time, was able to just transcend herself to doing much more than just music. And, this debut album, despite it, because despite people talking about, oh, well, it's not top 10, it's not top 20 when it comes to other albums or just any album, when it comes to charting and your fans and people that relate to you, and even things that are still being looked at to this day, where it's just like, we are going to make a difference here when it comes to this era and in this time, but to be honest with you, from what I'm reading, it wasn't a bad debut. It's not a bad debut to me. I think what it is it's just getting people to know that she's here to stay. Okay. The New York Times noted that the backup tracks are sometimes rich enough to carry the album on their own, but they don't have to. Some songs have vocal choruses, while in others, Queen Latifah's rising and falling speech provides melody enough. Newsday called the album international ghetto music, filtered through hip hop's strongest feminist sensibility. In 1998, All Hail the Queen was included in the Source's 100 Best Albums list. It was later featured in Robert Dimery's 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die. Ooh. In 2008, the single Ladies First was ranked number 35 on VH1's 100 Greatest Songs of Hip Hop. But yeah, guys. Like I said, it did leave a legacy where it, opened opportunities for other female rappers. Among, the other few female rappers that we will talk about that were around in this time, that also opened doors for female rappers to come. And then, in the 90s, like I've previously said with Kim, where it was, because be sure to check out the fact that I've talked about all her albums, but yeah, like there were people before Kim, like Queen Latifah, where they were able to coincide and stand with, and that wasn't too shy off for the men over time. There were beefs. There were beefs on both female and male alike. But over time, you notice, wait a minute, there's unity. There's unity. And then there's, the sense of rappers, male and female, that are just kind of just scattered. They're in their own place. They're. So, what I'm trying to say is with Queen Latifah, she wanted females to be heard in such a way that they need to be heard in a way that they, why not? Like, I'm not gonna not speak my mind. Who you calling a bitch? Okay, but that's not here yet. I don't think. I think that's ladies. I think that's later, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not. Or maybe. But yeah, let's get into the track list. Yeah, track 1 is Dance for Me. Track 2 is Mama Give Birth to the Soul Children, featuring, well, with De La Soul. 3 is Come Into My House with Quasar. 4 is Latifah's Law. 5 is Wrath of My Madness. 6 is The Pros with Daddy O. 7 is Ladies First with Moni Love. Track 8 is A King and Queen Creation with 45 King. Track 9 is Queen of Royal Badness. Track 10, Evil That Men Do with KRS One. Track 11, Princess of the Posse. And then track 12, Inside Out. And then there were remixes that were on, for bonus tracks as well. But, there was so much more that was coming forth with Queen Latifah from here. But, again, for me, I don't feel like, the chart placements, whether they were, not as high, was not impactful. Like, I feel like it was very much impactful because at that time, in the late 80s, or even 90s, visuals were a thing. So if your visuals were popping, over time, people are going to really understand where you're coming from. And, when you're doing more things and other things, you can't not be seen because people want to see you more. So, and that's what it was for her, among other people too. But I thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and I will definitely be back with more.